What if the real reason most businesses struggle to grow has nothing to do with marketing, nothing to do with sales, and everything to do with the invisible chaos happening behind the scenes? I know that sounds dramatic, but stay with me for a second. Because once you see the difference between growing a business and scaling a business, you'll never look at your own company the same way again. Hi, this is Farhad, and I help business owners and real estate leaders grow faster without stress or burnout by sharing what I've learned from 20 years in sales, marketing, and human behavior. And if you stick with me until the end, I'm going to give you a powerful free resource that will help you put all of this into action right away. It's called Scale Smarter with SOPs, and it's one of the most useful tools you can have when you're trying to scale the right way, instead of drowning in work you shouldn't even be doing. Now let's talk about something nobody really explains clearly: the difference between business growth and business scaling. Most entrepreneurs mix the two together, and that's where the trouble starts. Growth sounds exciting, and it is. More clients, more revenue, more activity. The problem is that growth usually demands more from you. More staff, more tools, more hours, more money, more fires to put out. Growth eats resources. Growth gets heavy. Growth feels like pushing a cart uphill without power steering. But scaling is different. Scaling is where the magic happens. Scaling is when your business produces more without needing more from you. Your output rises, but your expenses don't rise at the same speed. You serve more customers without hiring an army. You generate more revenue without doubling your workload. You increase your performance without increasing stress. And if you've ever had that moment where your business suddenly gets busy, and instead of feeling excited, you feel overwhelmed, that's a sign that you're growing, not scaling. And that's your signal that something in your operations isn't built for the future you're trying to reach. I want to walk you through this in simple, everyday language, because once you really get this, you'll start making decisions totally differently. Think of growth like planting more trees, but scaling is about creating an irrigation system so the trees can water themselves. Growth is adding more weight to the bar. Scaling is improving your form so lifting the bar feels easier. Growth is effort. Scaling is efficiency. One of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make is assuming their business is ready to scale just because things look good on the surface. They've got leads, they've got sales, they've got customers coming in. But underneath all that, the foundation is shaky. There are no systems, no automation, no streamlined handoffs, no clarity on who does what, no rhythm in the business. And when you don't have a strong foundation, growth becomes dangerous because it magnifies the cracks. Now let's talk about why scaling matters so much for long-term success, especially if you want predictable revenue and a life that isn't constantly controlled by your business. When you scale the right way, something powerful happens. Your business becomes predictable. Predictability is the holy grail. It gives you stability. It gives you control. It gives you confidence. You stop waking up wondering what today's chaos will look like. You start waking up knowing exactly what you're building toward. Scaling also makes your business more profitable because instead of adding new costs every time you bring in more business, your systems absorb the load. It's like building a road that can handle more cars without you needing to widen it every 6 months. Suddenly, your margins expand. The same work produces more return. And when you combine predictability with profitability, you create something even more important: sustainability, a business that can survive market shifts, tough seasons, or even months when you're not operating at full capacity. Another thing scaling does for you is give you the freedom to innovate. When you're constantly busy, you don't have time to think creatively or experiment with new ideas. But once your systems do the heavy lifting, you get your brain back, you get your energy back, you get your creative power back. You're finally able to step into the CEO role instead of the everything role. So how do you actually start scaling? There are 4 big levers that make the whole machine run smoother. automation, delegation, SOPs, and performance tracking. Let me break these down in a very simple way. Automation is everything that saves you from repeating tasks. It's the tool that takes a job you do manually and turns it into something that happens automatically. Think reminders, think follow-ups, think onboarding, think scheduling. When you automate, you're not replacing people. You're freeing them and yourself from doing work that doesn't require a human touch. Delegation is where so many business owners get stuck. They want growth, but they refuse to let go. Or they try to delegate, but do it without proper clarity, so the whole thing becomes a mess. Delegation isn't just giving tasks away. It's about empowering people to take ownership. It's about creating confidence in your team, so decisions aren't bottlenecked by you. Delegation makes your business wider instead of taller. Instead of everything stacking on your shoulders, it spreads across a team. Then there are SOPs, standard operating procedures, the quiet heroes of every scalable business. SOPs remove confusion. They create consistency. They make training easier. They prevent errors. They protect your time. And they give your team the ability to perform at a high standard even without constant supervision. SOPs are basically instructions that help your business run the same way every time, no matter who is doing the work. Without SOPs, you can't scale. You can only survive. Finally, performance tracking. This is how you stay honest with yourself. Without measurement, you're guessing. When you know your KPIs, your bottlenecks reveal themselves. You stop fixing the wrong problems. You stop wasting time. You start improving the things that actually matter. It's like turning the lights on in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see everything clearly. Now, once you understand these components, you can start plugging them into the bigger scaling frameworks successful companies use all the time. Systems like EOS, scaling up, and the lean startup approach. These are buzzwords. They're real structures used by companies who want to grow without losing control. And they all share something in common: clarity, alignment, accountability, and simplicity. EOS is all about having one clear vision, one clear plan, and everyone rowing in the same direction. Scaling up helps you build strength in 4 key areas: people, strategy, execution, and cash. Lean startup is all about testing quickly, learning fast, and cutting waste. They are different tools, but they solve the same problem. How do we grow in a way that doesn't burn us out or break our business? But here's where everything comes together: the 6 dimensions business operating system. It simplifies scaling into something practical instead of overwhelming. Leadership sets the tone. Strategy sets the direction. Marketing attracts attention. Sales converts opportunity. Operations delivers consistently. Finance makes sure everything is sustainable. When all 6 dimensions work together, the business becomes smooth, predictable, and scalable. The friction disappears. The chaos quiets down. The business starts to feel lighter, not heavier. Owners finally get what they were after the whole time: freedom, income, and impact. But even with all of this knowledge, businesses still fall into common pitfalls. One of the biggest is scaling too soon. They start hiring before they have systems. They start marketing before they know their numbers. They start expanding before they've built a stable engine. It's like building the 2nd floor before the 1st floor is finished. Everything wobbles. Another trap is ignoring systems altogether. This is why so many companies plateau. They hit a ceiling because they try to grow through effort, not through efficiency. You can't out-hustle a lack of systems. Eventually, hustle runs out. Then there's losing sight of the customer experience. When you're racing for growth, it's easy to stop listening to customers. But the truth is, scaling requires deeper understanding of your customers, not less. You can't scale problems. You can only scale clarity. And of course, the biggest silent killer: not tracking performance. If you never measure, you never improve. If you never see the cracks forming, you never fix them until it's too late. All of these pitfalls are avoidable once you understand what scaling really is. Building a business that can grow without demanding more of you. A business that works, even when you're not pushing every lever. A business that becomes stronger, more predictable, and more enjoyable over time. And this is why I want you to grab the free resource I mentioned earlier, Scale Smarter with SOPs. It's one of the most practical tools you can use to immediately start building the systems that make scaling possible. SOPs are the backbone of a scalable business, and this resource makes it easy to get started, even if you've never built a single SOP in your life. Book a call with us if you're serious about taking your business to the next level. And if you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it.